Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently working on some of our long-term projects here. Specifically, we have 1 year, 205 days on our Griffin 3L maneuver for coming back. We have 2 years, 272 days on our SG Auxiliary Modules maneuver. We've got a year and 22 days on our Habitation Modules maneuver. And for our Raven 1S, 72 days, and for our Science Rover Mark Duna, 59 days. So that's the one that we're going to do first. So we're going to go ahead and fly that guy. And I'm just going to double check that our slingshot around the moon is safe. It should be. Yeah, that'll be safe. So we're going to go ahead and warp to about here. That's only 4 hours away. So off we go to the moon. Hello, moon. Excellent. And we're just going to warp by this a little bit carefully. I'm just interested... Yeah, we're already ahead of the Raven 1S, I think. No, actually, we're still slightly behind it. That's a good sign. So we're going to warp to the periapsis here. We definitely have the inside track here, but the Raven 1S is kind of piecing out. So here we are at the periapsis, and we are just going to warp up over this way. I just wanted to make absolutely sure that nothing weird happened with that warp, and it didn't, so we are completely fine. We should, of course, be aligned to this maneuver. And we will physics warp that. There we go. Excellent. And now we'll just go ahead and warp through our change of locale. There we go. We're now over Kerbin again, and let's warp towards our Kerbin escape in 8 days. Just cancel that warp. Okay. We'll warp here. There we go. We do want our focus, of course, to be the Science Rover Mark Duna if we can. Apparently we can't. That's fine. We will be escaping Kerbin momentarily. We're just going to warp... Nope, that was the wrong button. We're just going to warp ahead very slightly here until we escape. Our solar panel should have direct flow. Yes, indeed it does. Excellent. So, now we are going to make our focus be the sun. And we're just going to warp ahead about 45 days. We don't have too much else to do. So we're just going to do that. Perfect. Okay, so about another 3 days, we'll just warp to next maneuver at this point. This is a 1 minute, 27 second burn. And we do have electric charge coming in, so that's good. We're going to want to burn this at T minus... Let's see, 30 plus... My math brain is not working right now. 14 and a half. So 44 and a half seconds is when we want to do this. This is, of course, going to burn out our entire stage here. And we wanted to burn right about then. I was technically about half a second late. So I was thinking about this stage going bye-bye. And I'm okay with that. 18 more seconds left in this burn. Excellent. We're almost... well, 18 more seconds left in this stage, I should have said. We're almost done with that, and off we go. Goodbye, debris. You will not be missed. So let's set our focus right now at Duna, because this is our target orbit for right now. And that should work just fine. So we're about 400 meters per second away from hitting that. Excellent. We are getting electric charge. Okay, that's good. 18 seconds left in this burn. make that 10 seconds left in this burn. Technically, there was a slight encounter there. Okay, this is going to be awkward. That's good enough. We can't throttle down, and we can't delete the maneuver node, so we got to do that there. Let's go ahead and point radial in, so that we're pointing essentially at the sun for our solar panels. There we go. Fantastic. And now, I would love to put in a maneuver over here. Sadly, we have no probe control. I was hoping to avoid that by sending up the satellite first, but apparently we're too far away right now. So, I mean, that's fine. We'll get caught up. Okay, so we don't need this debris. We can get rid of that. Now, our maneuver node here is in about 12 days. So we're going to fly the Raven 1S. Okay. We only have 108 meters per second in this stage, so this is going to be a pretty long burn, realistically. We're going to physics warp this turn. And yeah, this is going to be quite long. 24 minutes, 51 seconds, apparently. That's definitely a bit of a yikes. In fact, I may want to do that off camera. I mean, we can compress that to 4x, but even so. That's going to be interesting, and I had really hoped that this would be close enough. Apparently not. Well, that's what you get with a more energetic launch, so I'm not hugely surprised by that, and I'm just wondering, do I want to do this right now or delay it a little bit? And I think we should delay it just because there's still like 20 minutes left in this episode, and I don't want basically the whole episode to be that burn. So let's check mission control. Science data from surface of Minmus. That's easy enough. We'll grab that for some free cash. I mean, not free, because I don't think that our mint getters have any scientific experiments on them. We can check, I suppose, but I'm pretty sure they don't. They've been there for quite a while. I may want to bring them up at some point and restock our Minmus station, but the fuel levels are holding out for now. Wait. How are we getting so much ore? Okay, now we're not. Well, we need to get more ore anyway, but I'm pretty sure we don't have any scientific experiments on this. Yeah, we really, really don't. So we'll head on back to the Space Center. And hopefully, we'll find something to do during this time, but that may not actually happen. Yeah, it looks like that's not going to happen. Okay. Well, I guess this burn it is. I mean, we could send a rover to Minmus, I suppose. Usually takes around 12 days to get to Minmus. So that would be pretty tight timing. I think we'll have to do it after. Yeah, I think we don't really have a choice on that matter. Okay, we'll go ahead and warp to this next maneuver. This is going to be a lengthy burn, but we're going to do it mostly in physics warp. This is also going to be a lengthy time warp, apparently. Yeah, no vessel link there. Okay. That's fine. So we're going to want to start this burn at about now, actually. This is about when we want to start this. Okay, and off we go, exceptionally slowly. We'll walk to the maneuver node and begin our long, slow burn. In Physics Warp, it has a hard time actually holding right on the node, but that should be okay. This should, in theory, be all we need. I hope. Or at the very least, this should, in theory, be close enough. So this is going to be another 22 minutes of burn time. Of course, we're at 4x time acceleration right now. Might as well be locked to prograde if that's any closer, but no, that's pretty much the same point. Okay, so this is going to be about 5 minutes of burning. 5 minutes, 15 seconds or so more. So that's kind of lengthy. Kind of lengthy indeed. Well, that's okay, I guess. It gives us a chance to talk about the future of this series. As I've been saying, I kind of want to end the series after we complete this contract. Maybe we'll run like one mission out of the Solar Gateway first. That's something I was thinking about doing, because just building the gateway and then not really using it is kind of silly. But we're going to have another kind of similar series where we're building stations primarily in a future series, and that is the Ethiopia Through the Ages series. After we finish conquering the world there, then we have to build the initial Stellaris setup in KSP, is how that's going to work. So there's definitely going to be a rather large component of station building there, because we're going to have to build multiple mining stations, kind of like the Minma station, but probably better organized. And then we're also going to have to build several... Well, we're going to have to build, like, our shipyard station. And I don't know what that's going to look like. That's going to be an interesting one, to be sure. So that's one of the reasons why I kind of want to end it after this contract, and I think we'll probably do one mission out of the Solar Gateway to, like, Dress, or maybe to Elu. Like, Kerbal's on Elu, maybe? And then we just don't bring them home and tell them, you're a colony now, series is over. I mean, we could do something like that. Apparently I focused the Raven 1S. That is not what I intended to do, but that's okay. So, we do still have another pretty healthy chunk of time left in this burn. But yeah, I think the Solar Gateway will be completed once we finish bringing in the last two modules for it. And we're just kind of, with these scientific missions, killing time for that right now. What is that encounter? That's a Kerbal encounter? I mean, we're not actually going to have a Kerbal encounter, are we? I'd prefer it if we didn't. I mean, we'll just sit here and continue burning for another 300 meters per second. I think we're going to not have a Kerbal encounter with another 300 meters per second. I hope that's going to be the case. This is going to be pretty lengthy. There's no doubt about that. So we're going to clean up these contracts, for sure. And then I think maybe our finale would be Kerbal's on Elu. Which, getting there would be interesting, but if we have no plans to bring them home, that would make things considerably easier. And just be like, we're colonizing Elu, and they're like, why? And why did you not tell us this before? And we're just like, I didn't feel like it. I didn't think you needed to know. That seems right. Seems like a job for Valentina, actually. So yeah, that's kind of the overall plan. I figure that this is probably going to be done sometime around episode 150, or sometime before episode 150. And we'll just call it good there, and the next KSP series after that will definitely be in Ethiopia Through the Ages. So that's going to be interesting, and with that, our burn is only about a minute away from finishing. We do have another 140 meters per second to go here. And our braking burn, that's going to be interesting, and that's probably going to happen off camera, realistically. But I'm just going to continue warping here for another little while. This is a lot of Kerbal encounters in a row. I must admit to not being a huge fan of that. Now that is a Duna encounter. Okay. I can work with this. Do we want to be normal or anti-normal? I'm going to take us off of physics warp right now. Looks like I want to be anti-normal. Okay, we'll rotate over there. We'll see about bringing this on down to be a little bit more equatorial. That would be nice. Man, our thrust to weight is low. 0.03. But our efficiency is so high. So very, very high. Okay. So this is definitely going to put us in between Ike and Duna. Is that okay? Do I like that? Maybe that's fine. Still want to adjust our inclination a bit. Okay, let's try pushing this out prograde a little bit. Something like this. Actually, retrograde, slightly. Is the direction we appear to need to go. So let's just fine-tune this final orbit. Hello, that's an Ike encounter. I hate it. Okay. There we go. And now our inclination is bad again. So let's go back to anti-normal. I mean, it's not like we're short on delta V. And let's just bring this right on down. I'm actually going to put it on stability assist. And we're just going to chill somewhere around here momentarily. Okay. Out of curiosity, what exactly would end up happening? Yeah, we need to change this basically now if we're going to. So I'll put this back onto anti-normal. And then maybe a little prograde. Or radial? I don't think radial is what we're looking for, really. Prograde gets us into almost the right plane. And now we'd be looking for radial to push out our orbit. Because I'd like the orbit to be outside of the orbit of Ike, I think. I don't want to be affected by the orbit of Ike. Thank you very much. Okay. Let's just see about maybe a little normal burn. We'll see what that does. Okay, not exactly what I'm looking for, but we can alter this inclination once we get here, and we're just going to go for about 4.5 million meters here. That'll do. Excellent. And then, once we're here, we can just add a quick retrograde maneuver, and this braking maneuver is going to be pretty extensive. We definitely want to be circular if possible, about like that. And then we can change our inclination if we feel like we need to, but honestly, I feel like this is probably close enough. We could just do something kind of like this. We're not at the correct node, but that's very close to being equatorial, and I think that would do the trick. Yeah, that would be fine. Excellent. So let's just hop on back to the Space Center. And the question is, how long until that node compared to how long until the node that we can't create for the science rover? We'll terminate this debris. We no longer need to track that. And the science rover, yeah, that's 278 days for the Raven 1S. Let's see how long until the periapsis for the science rover. The science rover is going to be arriving at Duna in 228 days, so about 50 days faster. Okay. And that'll have to be manually warped. That is certainly exciting. Certainly exciting. Well, it is pretty much time to put a cut in here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to bring in this rover and do a bit of a braking burn. I kind of don't like where this periapsis is, so maybe we should go slightly retrograde and bring this in a little bit, because this is awful close to Ike's orbit. Right. I forgot about that. Back to prograde. Okay. Okay. There we go. That's better. Fantastic. That'll do. So 228 days is when we're going to want to do that. Okay. Well, until then, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.